Hey guys, today I thought it is rainy and drizzly and I'm not looking forward to doing anything outside. So I thought we would just go out to the chicken coop, do an update on how the coop has been operating. So this coop was built. I will link the video down below of the kind of overview of the build process and what it all looks like and the specs and everything down in the description below. But my father-in-law and I built this coop back in kind of like January, February, March. End of March, beginning of April is when it was like officially functioning and the birds were using it. So I thought I'd just kind of go over there, give you an update of what it looks like now that months have gone by and it has been plenty dirtied up by the chickens. And I thought I would kind of give you an update on the things that are working for me and some things that I maybe want to change or update as well. And then we'll just do some chicken chores, and I want to share with you a new thing that I've been thinking about doing, and I want to do a chicken of the month. But I don't know if I'm going to have the energy to do 12 chickens a year. So I was thinking maybe chicken of the quarter. And I'm going to talk a little bit about her breed and why I like her breed and what kind of eggs she lays and just a little bit about chickens in general. So I have not checked the coop at all since yesterday, and I don't know how dirty it is going to be in there. So we might need to do some cleanup once we get in there. So just don't judge, okay? Let's go. Okay, here we are at the coop. I just love looking at it every day. It's fun to come out here. It is not fun to come out to this mud pit currently, but the ducks are really the only ones that are enjoying it. You can see the birds are not out in the muddy run because they hate it. Oh, there is Miss Pearl. She's looking a little rough right now because she just is in the process of her fall molt. She is a very productive egg layer, so she lost a lot of feathers. Here she comes, out and about. Oh, and that's our rooster, whose life is short-lived. He's a pretty bird, though. Okay, so I put some linoleum down, and as you can see, it's gotten dirty, but it is really easy to just shovel it off and brush it off. And you can tell the poop catchers that I installed have been catching lots of poop from these ladies. This is what it looks like when it starts to fill up. You can see there's a lot of feathers right now because most of my birds are molting. This is Priscilla, Elvis, and one of our teenagers who actually just started laying eggs. Very pretty looking bird. Thank you for that. This is the automatic feeder, which has been going swimmingly well. We just installed this about maybe 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and the chickens can reach into each of these little ports and get access to their food. Same with the ducks. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ports total. And in this bin, I just have a scoop. But this is just all of their chicken feed. So it just goes down by gravity, and then they are able to go down to the little spouts below and grab their feed. And you can see that sometimes, you know, the food just gets sprawled out, but it actually saves a lot of food waste overall. So you can kind of see their ring around here. One thing that I love is these nesting boxes, you guys. They are so easy to, oh, okay. So easy to clean. I haven't actually unscrewed them yet, but I have taken out all of the plastic bottom pieces and removed them and hosed them all down and put fresh bedding in them. I put fresh bedding in them relatively often, like every single month I put some fresh bedding in there. Ladies, feathers flying everywhere. And the ladies go back and forth between which nesting box, you know, is their favorite to lay in. So sometimes it's this one, sometimes it's the one at the end. If my chickens get broody, which happens a lot with Elvis and Priscilla because they are our oldest ladies in the house, that is their favorite one. I think it's because it's the darkest. There is quite a bit of natural light that comes in between the door and the 2 windows here. And then I just have extras like their mealworm treats that they love. Priscilla, this is like her favorite thing in the whole wide world. Over here we have hay for our rabbits. In here is just extra bedding supplies. And then these are all excess food bags, which I use to replace these. So I have this coop, like I said, got installed end of March, beginning of April. And since then I have replaced these all at least once because they just get to a point where they're kind of like in such a disgusting state that I can't scrape them and clean them. You can hose them down, but honestly, I go through enough feed bags that I just have plenty to be able to replace them after they get to a certain point. So these are kind of getting to the last leg of their life, and I will probably just rip these off, throw them out, and install some new ones. All I do is use a staple gun and I just tack it right along this edge. I do have 2 of them, and that is mostly because these feed bags are not quite long enough for me to stretch it from this one all the way to the back wall. They can stretch from here to here, but then if your chicken sits on the top roost, you know, poop would fall way in the back. 90% or more of the poop and stuff is all being caught right here. And the majority of their poop is happening either out in the run during the day or when they're sleeping right in these roosting bar poop catchers. Ow! Okay, I am going to I'm gonna go collect some eggs, and then I'm gonna get some stuff to go feed the rabbits, and just kind of do a little chicken chores today. Eggs are a little messy because it is pretty muddy out in the run right now, but we have 2 olive kind of tone eggs, a pinkish tone egg, a brown or tan egg, and a blue egg. It is an absolute mud pit in my chicken run right now. My husband and I have been debating doing some renovations, putting a roof over the whole chicken run to decrease the amount of water that comes in and just sits here. And then also adding some drainage pipes to run off any excess water down the hill. It has just become, it was never this bad last year, but the ducks, oh, they make everything so muddy. They just throw water everywhere. They live for it. They dig holes. And then also, because we live in Sitka, we are near Mount Edgecombe volcano, and so there is all this organic volcanic ash that is in our soil, which makes it really like clay, and it like just holds on to just like bulk amounts of water, and it just becomes super dense, and it doesn't allow for a lot of drainage. And so that has just been really complicated because this whole area back here has, you know, underneath the surface layer of mulch and wood chips and everything that I have put down over the past couple of years. It is also just covered in volcanic ash. Like when you dig down, you can dig down a foot and it is just all volcanic ash. And that is really difficult to deal with when it comes to drainage. So we are kind of brainstorming this fall and winter of figuring out ways to deal with it so it does not get as muddy back here. I also planted 2 maple trees, hoping that as they grow, they will suck up a lot of moisture and nutrients from this chicken run area and grow into nice mature trees that will hopefully help with the drainage. But that is obviously going to take a lot of years. So look at these silly ducks right now. Look at them. Just loving the mud, loving the water, having a great old time. Okay, so here is our lovely rooster who just figured out how to crow about a week or so ago. Okay, Pearl is the chicken of the next quarter, clearly, because she did not want to be held today. It's okay because I have Miss Henrietta here. So Henrietta is an Americana. She is absolutely beautiful. She looks like she's black when you look at her far away, but she's actually got this really pretty brown coloring on her wings. And she's got this kind of iridescent blue and green, and then these gold pinstripes, which are just so beautiful. Now, being an Americana, Henrietta, she is an incredibly fantastic egg layer. She lays in her prime, like, I don't know, Just a lot of eggs a week, you guys. She lays blue eggs, and they are super beautiful. Actually, this is the color egg she lays. Now, Americanas come in all different shapes and colors. Pearl, the one I was going to show you, she is all white with gray, pinstripes on her. Super beautiful bird. Also a very effective egg layer, and she lays green eggs. Not the olive green eggs, but like a really light, pretty green egg. I have been a big fan of Americanas ever since I started having chickens. I just think they are a great size, a great shape. They do really well in our conditions here in Southeast Alaska. They are incredibly friendly birds. I've never had a problem with any of them. And I just think their unique coloring, when you get the chicks, you just kind of never know what you're gonna get. It's a surprise, and I just love that about these Americanas. So if you have not tried Americanas yet, excuse me, I would highly recommend them as a breed. They are just a beautiful, beautiful chicken, really great egg layers. Pearl and Henrietta, I have had with me now for, I think this is year 3. Yes, this is year 3 that I've had them, and I just adore them both. Highly recommend. Now, as you can see here, Henrietta has lost some feathers. Pearl looks a lot more haggard than Henrietta. That is because last year, Henrietta was a really efficient egg layer, and this year, Pearl surpassed her. Pearl laid an egg practically every single day. She was out there just like getting to work, paying the rent to live here. And so Pearl has gone through a much more significant molt. You can usually tell your most efficient egg layers by the ones who lose the most feathers and go through the most significant and difficult molting process. Now, when chickens are in a molting phase, they can be, they can be pretty sensitive to touch because all of their feathers are coming in as pin feathers. So as you can see right here, she still has pin feathers that are coming in around her neck, and they haven't unfurled entirely. So you just want to be extra careful with that. You want to make sure that you give them extra grace. Try not to torture them. She is losing feathers as we speak. The kind of scary thing about the molting process is that when you come out here in the fall, sometimes I'll come out and I will be panicked because I think that a chicken has been butchered or murdered by some animal, because there is just feathers everywhere. Especially chickens like Pearl, who are white, their feathers stand out much more significantly than the dark black and gray and brown feathers that Miss Henrietta has, or our black Australorps, or brown leghorns and things like that. So that's just something to be mindful of, being really gentle and careful with your birds. And also, it's really valuable to give them extra protein. It takes a lot of energy, as I'm sure you can imagine, to grow new feathers during the molting process. And so giving them extra protein, like mealworms, is super valuable. I'm going to put Miss Henrietta down because she is probably just ready to go hang out with her friends. The other really valuable thing that I think is important to mention, during the fall when they are in their molting process, it can be a really good time to check for things like mites and lice on chickens. So their feathers are a lot less dense. You can see a lot more of their skin underneath. So that is a really good time to check in and around their vent, the backside of the chicken in particular, but just all over, searching underneath their wings, making sure that there's no evidence of lice or mites in your birds. Chickens are really good at taking care of themselves. They will kind of preen their own feathers. The ducks are the same way. And chickens will also participate in this thing called dust baths, where they basically spread out all their feathers and wings and they rub themselves into dirt, and that helps protect their skin from bugs and other insects like mites and lice that might bother them. And I find that in the fall time frame, when summer has slowed down, this is a good time to kind of do deep cleans on the chicken coop. It is a good time to check out your birds, pay really close attention to them, especially during the molting process, which is difficult on them. And then just kind of give them some extra care and attention, and give the place that they live in, their coop and their run area, some extra attention as well, which is why my husband and I are going to look into some methods to do some fixing of our outdoor run area to deal with the mud and sitting water issue. As much as the ducks have a great time in the mud pit and the water, and they don't mind it at all, it makes the coop a lot dirtier. I have to clean it more often, and the chickens absolutely cannot stand all of the water and muck. So And also, as you can see, my eggs today were less than ideally clean. During the summer months when we have a lot less rain here, it is much easier for me to go in there and collect eggs and have them be almost spotless. But right now that is just not the case. Their feet and the tips of their feathers, especially on the underside, can be just kind of covered in mud and muck. And so then I have to do an additional step of cleaning the eggs, which is something that I can usually surpass if they are almost crystal clean. Okay, so we refilled the chicken water. We don't have to do anything with their food. All the birds look like they're doing great. My rooster is, what are you doing? Get off of there. Oh my God. And we also fed an apple and some treats and snacks and refilled the Timothy hay for our rabbits. So let's go inside really quick and clean off our eggs. I want to show you guys the coolest egg cleaning stuff that my friend sent me, and I'm kind of obsessed with. Okay, we are in my kitchen and I apologize because I did not clean my kitchen before thinking about making this video. So just ignore that. The newest addition to my my setup here is this awesome natural enzyme cleanser from Good Egg. I have been getting targeted ads on Instagram for this stuff and for the silicone cleaners for probably months, and I have been so curious about it. And then my good friend Erin, shout out to Erin, sent me a batch of it, and I was so excited to try it because it is awesome. It is everything I expected it to be, and these cleaners make egg cleaning so much faster and more enjoyable. So once you give them kind of an initial rinse, then you can go ahead and select your cleaning tool. So there is two different sizes. This one works really great for duck eggs, which are probably twice the size of these chicken eggs. And then this one is my favorite one for chicken eggs. I like to just squirt the enzyme cleanser right into here, couple pumps, and then I basically just go like this, and you scrub your eggs. I like to kind of do all of them at once and then do a final rinse once I've completed the cleaning. Add additional pumps whenever I need it. Ooh, this one is extra dirty today. Look at how fast and easy cleaning these eggs are. And this silicone form, you guys, just fits a chicken egg perfectly. And that one, the green one, fits the duck eggs just perfectly. This cleanser is super gentle, really easy to use. Great. And then, as you can see, it kind of gathers some dirt. Super easy to clean and let dry. And then give my eggs just a little rinse. Look at how beautiful these eggs look post-clean. Like perfection. Am I right? As you can see here, it does say to pre-rinse with some warm water, pump the cleanser into the brush, lather up the egg, and then rinse off with warm water as well. And like I said, I cannot recommend this enough. I have really enjoyed using it, and I love having the two different options for cleaning different eggs. The duck eggs are really tight in this pink one, so having the extra large one for duck eggs is really valuable. After I clean my eggs, I like to just kind of set them out on a clean rag and let them dry for a minute or two before I put them in the refrigerator. Once these have dried and are ready to go in the refrigerator, this is how we keep our eggs stocked up. So these are two kind of like ceramic egg trays, different sizes and shapes, but they both work really great. This one with the more open sides works a lot better for duck eggs. So I would recommend that. I think I actually ordered that from Anthropology. And this one I think I picked up at a thrift store for like 50 cents or $1. This one works really great for my Bantam and chicken eggs, but is a little bit harder to fit the duck eggs just because the sides come up a little bit higher. And I think the actual squares are slightly smaller. I really like to store my eggs in here because I like to be able to look at the colors. I like to be able to select duck eggs and chicken eggs, and just easily visually see them versus having them in a crate or tucked away in a drawer. I just really love having these ceramic ones. They're also really easy to just take out and clean. I noticed this one when I picked it up. Looks like there was a little broken egg that needs to be cleaned out. So you can just wash them and throw them right back in here, and it's great. Okay, this is a short and sweet little video, and I know I really didn't do much, but it is a nasty day out there, and sometimes I just avoid doing outdoor chores, and that's just the reality of it. But you cannot avoid taking care of your outdoor animals. You know, they rely on you, and I think caring for animals is an honor and a blessing, and I think it is, you know, my responsibility to make sure that they are well fed, well cared for, and looked after. And that comes to my indoor animals as well as my outdoor animals. I really love having chickens and ducks, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and maybe learned a little bit something about chickens in the process. If you haven't already, I highly recommend trying out that Good Egg stuff. I have just been so enjoying it. I will link it down in the description below for you if you want to check it out. And thanks for watching. I also just wanted to say that we are celebrating right past our 1-year anniversary of Emma's Alaskan Home on YouTube. And I was just like feeling very nostalgic the other day, and I was going through my channel and looking at all the videos that I have made for you guys over the course of the past just over a year. And I am really enjoying it, and I am going to continue to move forward and put out videos every week for you guys. I'm just really enjoying how far we've come, and it is really cool to be able to look back at all the projects that we have completed, and just have like this historical visual representation on YouTube. So thanks for watching and supporting me and my channel. And I can't wait to share with you guys maybe Pearl or another one of the birds for the chicken of the quarter next quarter. We'll see you later.